Tonight, it's San Francisco and Atlanta as we say goodbye to Candlestick Park. I like how we're romanticizing Candlestick Park. There were great games, great moments there, but it's not a great ballpark. It was, well, depending on the day, the time of day, it was warm or it was really cold, it was windy. It could be miserable there. And I mean that in a positive way. Joe Montana, of course, spent most of his career there, and Joe joining us now. Joe, you probably got great, fond memories of good old Candlestick Park. Sorry to see it go?
Well, the place I remember, no, not really. They say home field advantage. Well, it wasn't a real advantage. The only advantage we always said we had was the fans, not really the field.
How would you describe it, though? That feeling, it always felt damp. Every time I went in there, it felt damp.
It was always wet. I swear you could not rain for like 2 years and it would still be wet. But they finally figured out, I think, that it was either below or just at the water table. So they raised it 3 feet. I don't know how many years ago. And I went down on the field, I think it was last year or the year before, and I went, this field looks so much better than I remember. And they said, oh, yeah, we raised the field. I went, oh, okay. I got you now. But, yeah, it was not. It probably ranked up there in the top 3 of the worst fields that anybody would want to play on.
But aside from the catch with you and Dwight Clark, what's your second fondest memory of Candlestick?
Well, probably coming back after my back surgery, thinking everything was, you had a chance to be and finished at that point, and then being able to come back and play. That's probably the second one.
And you were at the earthquake game with the Oakland A's?
Yeah. Yes, we were.
But you were there with Jennifer. Did you have your son with you at the game?
Yeah, he was just born on October 3rd, so
oh my God.
She felt the earthquake, and she said, let's get out of here. And I'm going, no, we're going to stay for the game.
Wait, so your son's, what, Nick's like 2 weeks old?
Yeah, I was with Nathaniel, yeah. He was there. We'd just gone down from Mr. DeBartolo's. We were up visiting him up in the box. And we had gone down to our seats, and everything happened, and she said, let's get out of here. And go, no, the lights will come back on, I promise.
Did you realize what had happened?
Yeah, we did. We just didn't know the magnitude of it. But Jennifer had a feeling, and, our 2 girls at the time were with a babysitter, and we were trying to figure out, okay, we can't get a hold of them. Let's get out of here. When she couldn't dial out, she knew it was time to get out of there, but by then it was too late.
And you don't have cell phones back then, so you're sort of at a loss of what exactly is going on around you.
Yeah, it was. You didn't know. Like I said, we didn't know the magnitude of it. You've felt earthquakes before, and even though that one felt a little bit stronger, you still just, if you don't see it around it, and obviously you're inside the stadium, so you can't see smoke, you can't see or hear sirens very much. So, and then there was the excitement of what was about to happen.
He's Joe Montana joining us, Dan Patrick Show. You look at these offenses now. If I said I can put you in any offense in the NFL, which one?
Oh, I don't know. It's you go back and forth, and you watch Seattle play, and they do things pretty well. You look at New England doing things well. Denver, obviously. Peyton's, congratulations to Peyton setting the record, so that's great. Throw me in those 3, I'll be okay.
What does Peyton Manning do better than you?
You know what? I watch his balls, and our balls came out the same a little bit. He's got a little wobble, like Dwight used to say. I didn't throw a tight spiral, I threw a tight wobble. But he does. I think one of the things he's able to read defenses, and he has the freedom to do the things he wants on the field. And, that's probably more so than anyone, any leash that anyone else has in that position. Probably even, maybe next to Tom or someone. But that's probably what he does best, is able to find a weakness and take advantage of it.
But was there a part of you that you had the first 15 plays scripted every game, right?
Yeah, Bill it started off as 10, then it went to 15, and then it went to 25. And what he basically, one day, I can't remember, somebody asked him about it, and he said, this is how I see the game going if it was perfectly played in my mind. And so those are the plays he would run, and this is the order we'd run them in. But if you got into nickel or third and short or any special situation, then you came off that script. But as soon as it went back to normal, then you get right back on it.
But could you imagine yourself having that freedom if I said, here you go, you got the Broncos offense, you have to call the play at the line of scrimmage? How much would you have enjoyed that part of it, and how much does that add to the burden of being a quarterback in the first place?
Well, it adds a lot to the burden because you have to then start looking at tendencies, a little bit more seriously. I mean, normally you get into the tendencies, and okay, this is what they kind of do, but you don't have to really know for sure. You just have to have an idea of it. But when you're making the decision out there on the field, you have to be pretty sure. And the nice thing is sometimes you see him changing the play again. He'll call one and they'll change it again. And, that's something that's relatively new. We were able to change the play, but, you had to have a reason that you were changing it.
But that offense now, if I ran the Niners offense with your weapons, what are we looking at?
Oh, it'd be crazy, especially when Dwight was still there and JT was there also, and Jerry. Look out. It would be crazy.
Well, you also had Roger Craig. I mean,
I know.
A lot of weapons.
We had a lot of weapons at that point in time, and it would have been a lot of fun being able to be there this now. But you know what? The game changes, and that's the way it is. Unfortunately for us, we were there a while ago, but it's a lot more fun for a quarterback and receivers these days because everybody wants to see the ball thrown, and that's what they're doing.
It's too much.
Especially Peyton.
It's too much, Joe. It is. It's too much offense.
But you know what, though? The funny thing is the teams that still come down to win usually have a running game.
So, and a little bit of defense, too.
Yeah. Well, you got to have a lot of defense, especially these days.
You never threw you didn't throw 30 touchdown passes in a season, I don't think, did you?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
Because I can't
remember those numbers.
Elway did. I don't think Elway did it either.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty amazing. If you look at it now, I mean, you accidentally throw for, 28.
Yeah.
I think 28 or 29 was your high.
Yeah, it could be.
Oh, Paulie, what do you have?
In 87, he threw 31 touchdowns.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
you were lighting it up back then. But you're comfortable in your legacy that you have those Super Bowls. Like that seems to be the ultimate end to an argument. Is that a fair way to assess quarterbacks is I look at the number of Super Bowls you have. As far as when we look at greatness, it always starts with you and then Tom. John's on there, but Peyton's got one Super Bowl. Dan Marino's not on there. How do we assess greatness as a quarterback?
Well, I think it's very difficult to just look at Super Bowls or at numbers. I think there's a combination of certain things, and I always say enjoy everybody for the difference that they are, and because everybody's different and they do things differently, and just like that. Look at Peyton. If you have the ability to control whether you're going to run the ball or throw the ball, when you get close to the goal line as a quarterback, you can guarantee most guys are going to put it in the air. Even though he dials up runs like he doesn't think twice about those numbers, but when you have an advantage and you see it and you know the advantage you have already with the rules, you want to take advantage of it. But yeah, I think you look at guys like Danny. My gosh, I can't even imagine Danny playing today.
Joe, he would have thrown 60 touchdown passes in a season.
I know it. That's what I mean. He people really don't realize how good Danny was. His ability, his accuracy, his touch, his ability to get rid of the ball quick. He was fun to watch.
It's amazing that Marino could be considered underrated.
I know.
But he is.
I know. By far. He's probably the most underrated on that list. And he never talks about it, but he was one of the best I've ever seen play.
Have you talked to Kaepernick at all?
Just not really. Other than passing by, like on the field or something. Yeah, no.
Could you help him? Would you work with him? And if you did, like what would you work on with Kaepernick?
You know what? He seems to have a little bit of everything. I just don't know if just has enough experience in being in the pocket. I mean, he seems to be accurate at times. I think the biggest thing that people always want to see is arm strength. But really, it's not about strength. It's about, if you can throw the ball 45, if you watch most games, watch how many balls are actually thrown over 45 yards. Not very many.
Not in today's offenses.
No. So all you need to do is be accurate. And that's the thing, is trying to find a way to be more accurate from the pocket. If I'd say one thing about it, that's the only thing. But then you see him, put something in a little hole and make a great throw. But I think that's probably the only thing, because he doesn't. They're trying to force him in there now, and I think it comes with time, because that really isn't. When you run the style offense that he ran in college, you get a lot of guys wide open. And, when you have to make throws that are tight all the time, you're just not used to doing that. And but he's doing a great job. He's playing really well, and I think they're getting better and better as it goes. But
what's the furthest?
He's got some weapons, too.
What's the furthest you could throw a football?
I don't know, but I could out-throw Dwight. No, I'm kidding. I mean, how fast he ran. He was, so I could always throw. I could throw. When he's running, I can always out-throw him. No, I'm just kidding. But he's, I don't know, but I'm going to say 60, 65, maybe on a good day. If I had to win, maybe 68.
Do you see any of yourself in Johnny Manziel?
Oh, no. Are you kidding me? He's quicker than me.
But improvising and just, I mean, you were great you had great feet. I mean, he uses it to run and get away from people, but you don't see any Manziel?
No, he was just too quick for me. I was more of a guy that I had an ability to get out of the pocket and look, and I was looking to get rid of the ball, believe me. I ran only if I had to. And they say the best thing that makes you run is fear, right? And I ran from fear.
What was your 40?
No, I'm 57. It was about it, 5'7". No, it was 4'7".
4'7". So you were just a little slower than Jerry Rice was.
I know. He made it amazing, though, how fast he looks. That's what I try to tell people. It's technique that gets a lot of people open. And Jerry had great technique. And you don't have to be the fastest. You just got to know how to be the guy at the route you're running and how to do, what technique it takes to do that. And he did the best I've ever seen.
Not many guys caught him from behind either, which was always interesting.
No. Yeah, there you go, fear. He didn't want to get his uniform dirty.
Yeah, he's a pretty boy. He's a diva.
Because, he has to change at halftime every now and then.
Did he change uniforms at halftime?
Yeah, if it was real dirty, heck yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he likes to be clean.
Hey, it's great to visit with you. Tell Jennifer happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and we'll see you at Super Bowl.
All right, you bet. Take care.
All right,
Have
bud.
a good holiday.
All right, thank you, Joe.
All right, you too.
Joe Montana.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.